Hey you guys, it's me Gemstone from tarotforhealing.com. Hope you guys are doing really well. This is your weekly general reading and this is going to be for the week beginning the 26th through to the 1st of November. Because it is the week of Halloween, I've decided to pull out the Ludi Lescott Tarot because I feel like it's quite fitting, and also I haven't used this deck in ages. I do really like this deck and I like the back. Think it's so cool looking. But I just don't bring it out often these days, and yeah, it's still a really cool deck. So I'm gonna pull a card or three cards and see what shows up for us this week. So the first card is the King of Swords. So that's the King of Swords. The next one is the Hierophant. Very interesting, very interesting. And the next one is Three of Cups. Oh, that rendition is, oh my gosh, it's so fitting. I don't know why, but like as soon as I saw that, I was like, I just felt like sad all of a sudden. Because there's something about that image, it just really sort of brings you in. Like I could literally feel tears behind my eyes. Like, oh my gosh, that sounds crazy. But yeah, but then basically I feel like somebody's gonna be feeling sad. I don't know, somebody's gonna be feeling sad. And I think it can be to do with someone else. I think for some of you guys this can be to do with a love situation, a love relationship, because we do have this King of Swords. For some people, it might even be like specifically an air sign that you're dealing with that may be causing you some sadness or something. Even if you are an air sign, you might be seeing another air sign that's causing you some sadness. Or even if it's not like an air sign specifically, it could be somebody that is sort of exhibiting that kind of vibe about them. Like the thing is that what I'm seeing here is sometimes with the air signs, I think the worst characteristics of an air sign can be kind of seemingly insensitive. And when I mean insensitive, I don't mean like just saying stuff to hurt someone's feelings, but I think sometimes with air signs they can have a tendency that if they are upset about something or stressed about something, they can come off a bit cold, um not feeling so emotionally connected, wanting to withdraw kind of thing. I'm kind of seeing that somebody is going to be quite, I feel like this sense of being very harsh, like somebody's either saying harsh words to you, or this person is trying to lay down the law or trying to be dominating. Like with the hierophant can also exhibit some of those signs, like of somebody that believes that everything should be done like a certain way or particular way. A person that again likes to feel that they're in a position of authority and likes to dictate to people what they're supposed to be doing. To be honest, this hierophant energy can also be talking about maybe you and somebody else was supposed to get married, or maybe you and somebody else was supposed to commit to one another, and maybe that's fallen apart. But what I'm seeing here is that there's going to be a disappointment over something that you kind of was hoping for would take place, or something that you was expecting was a sure thing, or something you was hoping to commit to ends up going south. So this could be like a relationship that has taken a turn, or it could be that maybe you were just hoping for something. Maybe this is a work situation you was hoping for. Maybe this is something you wanted resolved, maybe even a conflict with somebody else that you wanted resolved and it hasn't gone that way. um but I see issues here, and I almost feel like usually, like when you look at the images, it doesn't necessarily mean that because you get females and males showing up in certain cards, that obviously that the person that is receiving the reading is necessarily going to be of the same sex as they say, somebody in the card. Like for instance, if you was doing a one card reading for somebody, and let's say the Hierophant showed up, obviously it could still apply to a woman even though a male shows up. But I don't know why, but when I look at these images, I almost feel like for some of you guys, the heartbroken person could actually be the female in the situation, and then the person that could be maybe either upset or disappointed or changes the situation is like a male. It could be that way, or it could be that either one could be exhibiting those kind of tendencies. Like obviously you can get men that are very in touch with their feminine side, and you can get a woman that's very in touch with their masculine side, and that kind of thing. And so it can go that way as well. But that's kind of how I'm feeling about this situation. And I almost feel like this could be speaking of a relationship situation where a person was thinking that if they made this person commit to them, that they were going to get the result that they wanted. Either the relationship was going to improve or the relationship was going to get better. But then it just so turns out that this is not going the way that you hoped it would go. So I feel almost like it's somebody that could be either calling off a wedding or calling off a relationship or commitment or something like that, and that could be leading to this kind of disappointment as well, or heartbroken situation. um the interesting thing is I'm going a lot by the interpretation and what I feel coming from this card, because traditionally the Three of Cups wouldn't really be a card of challenge. So I guess some of you guys that read cards might be thinking, oh, how come like she's saying all this really depressing stuff, and it's like, the Three of Cups is not the Three of Swords. But I almost feel like this card, it almost has a Three of Swords kind of energy about it, in that it's like you can see the cups are standing, and but she's holding the grapes and she's crying. So it's almost like she has what it takes to make wine out of this situation. So if she wanted to, she could fill up those cups, but the cups are depleted, and like it's finished, like whatever is in there is gone, like they're empty. And so it's almost like saying that I think maybe emotionally a person might be feeling empty as well. They might be feeling like they're not getting the um that sense of love that they feel that they need. They're not getting that sense of affection that they feel that they need. And you might be dealing with somebody, that's very traditional in his or her ways of thinking. Like maybe they feel like they don't have to be emotionally sensitive, or they may feel that they don't have to give as much affection as maybe you need them to give. And so I think that that's where this person might be feeling that they're lacking, or the relationship is lacking in that kind of affectionate love. Maybe because to this person, they may not feel that it's important to have that kind of connection with someone else. Like this person might be feeling like, oh, well, as long as I'm treating you well, and as long as I'm taking care of business, why does it matter that I'm not like overly affectionate and all that kind of stuff? Like, why is that important? But to this other person, I feel like it is important to them. And that's so interesting that she's wearing a cross, and this so is the Hierophant, has a cross on his I'm sure it has a fancy word for it, but I'm just going to call it a hat that he has on his head. But so yeah, I feel like, and to be honest, this cross to me, it could signify again, maybe even religious traditions, religious values. Like maybe somebody believes in marriage, believes in getting married before doing anything else in a relationship. And again, maybe there is an issue. Maybe your partner doesn't feel that way. Like maybe your partner doesn't feel like you have to get married or you have to commit, in that sense. So that's kind of what I'm feeling. If you're not in a relationship like situation, these cards again, it could just be speaking in a more general way, and just saying that some kind of disappointment arises from somebody else that is almost like making a decision on your behalf. Somebody that feels like maybe this person either doesn't value your opinion, or doesn't value you in terms of bringing you in or incorporating you into this decision making. So it might be a situation where something is kind of taken out of your hands or out of your control, because I feel like with this card showing up, the King of Swords, it's like there's this very masculine kind of dominant energy, very active energy that is showing up first, and then a passive energy, almost like saying that you're having to almost give up control to somebody else, some other authority that might be trying to sort of dominate or make that ruling, make that choice. And then it kind of leaves you feeling like, what do I get out of this situation? Like, I'm feeling like I'm losing in this situation. So that's what I see there. And then look what's underneath. The Five of Cups is underneath. And look at her. Again, she looks sad. She looks sad. She looks like, and then interestingly enough, she has 3 cups standing, just like she had 3 cups standing, you know? And then this one is falling, and then you have this one like by itself, a single one. Whew. And one thing I would say is, the first thing that came to mind looking at these 2 cards is kind of telling me that this is a time where you're going to be really in your feelings a lot. Really in your feelings. And when I mean in your feelings, I mean that feelings are going to be coming to the surface for you. I feel like this is a week where quite a few of you guys are going to be quite sensitive, and I feel like for some of you guys, you're going to feel a lack of support. That's kind of what I'm seeing. Lack of support, feeling like you just are not getting the help or the, assistance that you need. And I feel like for some of you guys, you were really trying for something, and it's like, again, like some cups are standing but some are falling. So it's not to say you don't have options, or it's not to say that this is the worst circumstance that could possibly happen, but it's just saying that things didn't go exactly the way that you felt that it should go. And because of that, it's like there's going to be this sense of feeling low or feeling down or feeling like, again, something has been taken out of your control. um but then again, like you see in this card, it almost reminds me of the saying, when you have lemons you make lemonade. Like in this case, she has grapes, why not make wine? You get what I'm saying? Or because something didn't go the way you wanted it to, it doesn't mean there's not going to be an alternative. Like there's still going to be things that you can do to make the situation better, or be able to maybe, just change the circumstances of things. But I feel that initially you're not going to be thinking that way. You're just going to be thinking about what you've lost. But sometimes what you've lost, makes a way for you to go into something else, do something different, and you never know, that thing could be better than even what you had before. But I totally get it that in the moment you just don't see it that way. To you, a disappointment is a disappointment, especially if you've been waiting on something for the longest, or whatever, you've been trying for something for a long time. But then at the same time, down the road, again, you never know what this disappointment can lead to. So yes, it is a bit of a challenging reading. I'm sorry, but peace and blessings to you. I'll see you. Bye.